Today I'm gonna spend over 20,000 yen on second-hand Gunpla. And for that I'm gonna try to get as much value out of this hard offer as possible. With massive aisles with not only Gunpla model kits, but also all kinds of figurines, video games, clothing and so much more. I could even build a whole band room with instruments just from this place alone. And when I entered the Gunpla aisle, I got lucky right away because I found a kit I was searching for quite some time. A perfect grade of the RX 78-2. I've been looking for this one in so many stores. It's a perfect grade of the RX 78-2 and I need this for a different project. I just hope you can read this, right? Okay, great. Because it's 22,000 yen and I hope it's not assembled because it would not be worth it. I need to build this for a different project, so I need an unassembled version of this, and has been out of production for quite some time. But I finally found one, so I think the wait here was worth it if this is not assembled. So let's find that out real quick. Stay tuned, because next up we're gonna find something you will only ever encounter in a second-hand shop. As you figured out by now, second-hand places like Hard Off come with their own struggles. Not everything is priced accurate, and every now and then you will find items that are not rare at all with a hefty markup for no reason. And when it comes to Gunpla, kits could already be assembled and then sometimes even glued or panel lined. From my experience though, almost every kit that comes with its packaging is untouched. And while we're on the topic, sometimes you will find a kit with missing parts, which are usually not a big deal because it's either just a sticker sheet or the manual, which is great because they come with a huge discount. Sometimes though, you can also encounter a whole runner or a crucial part missing, but that's no big deal because the cashier will be able to tell you what's missing in advance. But I like to keep it as a surprise, like you will see in a second. If an important part is missing, it can turn even a simple build into a fun challenge. This one is quite interesting because it's only 330 yen, but apparently a part is missing. I just don't know which part is missing, so I'm just gonna pick this up. It's very cheap and I think I'll figure it out later. Otherwise, this guy looked pretty cool. The artwork is very vintage and I like the style, but it's an old SD Gundam, and so far from my experience, the quality has not been up to par with other high grades or things you can buy at the same price. So I don't know if this guy is worth it. I'm thinking about also getting this small one because it's called Mercury Gundam, and I mean, apparently like it looks pretty similar to one of the SD Gundams that just has come out, so I might do a comparison to that later. Yeah, I think I'm also gonna pick that one up, and for that I think we're done, right? It's already been quite a lot, so let's go to the cashier and see how much we're gonna spend in the end, right? Well, now that Hobby Off basically took all my money, I can probably only eat Matsuya for the rest of the month. But we have this Mercury SD Gundam. Pretty interesting one. It's an older one. I think it's from 2010. Yes, from 2010. And the graphic looks like it could be like late 90s or maybe early 2000s. So 2010 was surprising to me. But I'm interested in older versions of the SD Gundams. The ones we have right now of the RX 93, 78-2, the Strike Gundam, the Victory Gundam, all of that. These are wonderful. Like, you pay 500 to 600 yen and they are amazing for what they are. But I had one from 2004, which cost me only 247 yen. I made a short on that. I want to know if this is at the same quality, because then I think like 880 yen is not worth it. 247 yen was totally fine for it, but 880 would be too much. Or if there's a quality difference and that guy stayed in stock from 2004 for so long because he was not of quality. So I will make a video out of this one for short. Next up, we have this modern SD Gundam, the ones which look a bit more serious, a bit more edgy. There's a part missing. I still don't know what. I'm gonna leave it sealed and I'm gonna make a video out of that one as well. I'm very interested to find out what is missing. I'm just guessing that's either just gonna be the manual or like a sticker sheet or something like that. But if there's like a runner missing with parts, I'm gonna be in trouble. So yeah, that will be interesting. But of course, the star of the show from today, the RX 78-2 perfect grade, which I picked up for 22,000 yen. which I think is totally acceptable. I think when it came out and it was in stock, it was less expensive. It should have been like 16,000, 17,000 yen. And I saw some used ones for 16,500 yen online, where the packaging was a bit more damaged, which doesn't matter to most of you guys. And it wouldn't matter to me as well if I would just want to build this guy. But I want to use him for a video, and I want to make the experience, since I couldn't pick up a new version, as close as possible to the factory new version of it. So I'm happy with the purchase. I saw some undamaged packaging ones for 30 to 40,000 yen online, so I think I still did well off with this guy. To me, it was totally worth it to go to Hobby Off. I saw some kits which were very cheap, like some older kits, very cheap in good condition, but I also saw some very recent kits, like Witch from Mercury kits, which were overpriced to the store price, which was kind of confusing. They are still in stores. Like, you can go to Big Camera, Yodobashi Camera, you can find them on Amazon, and they were cheaper there than the used ones we found at Hobby Off. So I think it's a double-edged sword. If you want to go there, I would most certainly recommend it. It's a fun place to go. You can experience a lot of things, and they have stashes of like trash, which usually is like damaged but still working fine, like Game Boys and stuff like that. Very cool. For Gundam, you should check the prices. I mean, if you find a Game Boy or like a Game Boy Advance or a DS for 200 yen, just buy it. Honestly, like, even if it doesn't work, just put it on a shelf. It's totally fine. But for Gundam, I think you should like do some research on prices before, and then I'm sure you can find some bargains. I'm happy with this, even if I probably have overspent on this. I'm totally fine with my pickups, and I will tell you, like, just, you know, enjoy your evening and see you in the next video, right?